I'm Kamon Reynolds, and welcome to the first episode of our experimental yard. Here we have 52 colonies dedicated towards better understanding mite control and insulation versus non-insulation. What do I mean by that? We have 26 Apame insulated hives, more than 6 times more insulated than a wooden box. However, the bulk majority of Laurel and I's operation, which is several hundred colonies, is in traditional wood hives. So we're going to, over time, hopefully see if there's any benefit to insulated hives versus non. And I think there can be. Obviously there's a price difference too, but that's just a small part of this. The primary focus is better understanding Varroa. Definitely the #1 problem in the world, and I know the better we've understood Varroa in our bee yards, and the better we've controlled them, the better we have done, the more bees that we have, to the point where we sell bees. I know not everyone wants to get to that level of beekeeping, but we all love to see our bees thrive and stay healthy. And put a little honey on the table too is pretty nice, and who knows, maybe become that local beekeeper who not only spreads that golden goodness throughout the community, but also is teaching people subtly about the amazing honeybee and how awesome they really are. This experiment, oh, there's one right there saying hello. But I just want to say thank you first and foremost. We're going to lay out a couple more details, but thank you for watching our videos. You have made this possible, especially several of you, and you know who you are, who have physically or financially made this possible. Several of you are so dedicated to our videos and our channel and give us so much encouraging feedback. You don't know how much that means. I know we wouldn't be doing these videos without you. And I'd like to say a big thank you to the sponsors who are at the beginning of this video, and in every video series for the next year, you are going to see links below where you can see their products. And I'm proud to say that all of our sponsors are people that actually care about beekeepers, that are actually trying to learn and do things that impact beekeepers in a positive way. And it's not all about the dollars, it's really more about the bees. But they really go hand in hand. And so in this test yard, we're going to run it just like we would the rest of our operation, except it's going to be a lot more detailed. Alcohol washes before we treat, alcohol washes after we treat, follow-up alcohol washes. And I know these aren't really fun to do. Let me tell you, I'm really not looking forward to doing hundreds of these in addition in a year, but I know that this information is going to help me out, and I believe it will help you out. We need to better understand Varroa. A lot of these products on the market are very new, or the only thing that we really know about them is what the manufacturer tells us. And I like to believe that everyone that produces a product actually tells the truth, but I think sometimes when it's our own stuff, we're a little bit biased, and it has to work. That's the main thing. We don't want to lose our bees just because our treatment maybe only killed 60% of the mites. 40% left over is too much. And I know from personal experience with oxalic acid vapor that it is an extremely weak treatment, but many people still think it is a really effective tool with a lot of brood in the colonies. I believe more and more people are going to realize that's not the case, and this test yard will clear that up even more. I'm going to leave a poll down in the comments below, the first comment, and you can click that, and I want to see your feedback if you'd like to share it. We are going to be doing nothing but natural treatments. What are natural treatments? It's like oxalic acid, formic acid, thymol, HopGuard 3, brood breaks, which is kind of a natural biological way of shedding mites. There's a couple other options I'm going to include in there as well, and combinations. So please leave your feedback on that. I would love to hear your opinion on that, and that'll help determine not only this year, but years going forward. I hope to do this for several years because there is a lot to learn. And I'm not here saying that we are going to figure it all out in one season, because that's not very probable. But even if we can eliminate some things that we were maybe trying or questioning, then we can be like, okay, this is an area we're not going to look at anymore, so we can turn our focus to the things that are going to really make a difference. My goal with this is twofold. First of all, I think many of you all, myself included, could benefit from better understanding what's going on and getting that control so our bees are doing really good. Second, I've got this bee operation that kind of provides for my family and everything. And the better I can understand mites and the better I can do it naturally, the happier I am because my bees are happy and thriving. I love these natural treatments like oxalic acid and formic and thymol because they're very clean. They don't build up in beeswax. If they did get in honey, formic acid and oxalic acid are now legal to be used in honey. I still don't treat with honey superzon anyways. I just don't like doing that. And thymol, you can kind of do that if you want Listerine flavored honey. I highly recommend you don't. But by and large, they're not building up contaminants like a lot of the synthetic treatments will. But again, it's kind of a catch-22. It seems like the more natural the product is, it's either one of two things. It's like oxalic acid, where it's very soft. It doesn't leave any residues. It's a short-lived treatment, and it only kills a short, little amount of mites. But if the mites are completely exposed, maybe it hammers them really good, and I hope we can get to the bottom of that. Get some really good numbers and see how that works. Also, on the flip side, you got formic acid, where it's extremely clean. You can use it with honey superzon, but it is really rough on the bees, even though it's organic and all that kind of stuff. What I'm hoping is that over the course of the next couple years, we can have controls that it's not going to be easy. I don't believe in easy buttons. I've never found one so far that actually worked. Usually there's a lot of work involved just to hook up the easy button. And I have to get Laurel to do it because I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. But seriously, it takes work. But I think that we can find those things where you put in that work and it pays off. And I'm excited. We're going to be moving these colonies to a different bee yard. The location I ideally wanted wasn't available until a certain date. And so we'll be showing you a whole lot in this series. We're going to be showing you how we feed them, how we get them to draw more foundations, when we add that. We're going to be showing you when we do the splits, alcohol washes. There's going to be a lot of videos. So this is not only going to be something where you can see, oh man, this treatment didn't do what I thought it was going to, or man, this did better than I thought. Hopefully we get some of those reactions. But also what it takes just to build up colonies for a production yard, like what we're doing. And there's really not that big of a difference between professional beekeeping and hobby beekeeping. Don't let people fool you. Yes, it's a little bit of it's a size gap, but healthy bees are healthy bees. And whether you're professional or you're a hobby beekeeper, we all really love those healthy, thriving colonies because they're darn cute, except when they're not in a good mood. So come on down this way and let's look a little bit more. Again, these are the insulated apimays. It's going to be fantastic seeing these build up. We're going to have these things up in stands. We're also going to have, once we get these set up in the new yard, we're going to have them up off the ground a little bit, and we're also going to have them in group sections, numbered, and so it's easy for myself and for you all to kind of keep track of what's going on. We really want to make this very thorough. I've got some people that are helping me with it, and I'm fixing to change this one to an apimay, I promise. And by the way, thanks to Apimay for giving us a really nice price break and helping sponsor this experimental yard, and for Premier Foundation, J&W Apiaries for donating all of the nukes. If I didn't say this before, $17,000 is what it took to make this possible. And it was because of these sponsors and the people like you all that this is possible. This is, I think, the future of beekeeping, where the beekeepers and the people that are genuinely concerned about the bees take it upon themselves to create the change that they want to see. And I'm so excited. Thank you to Hat Bee Acres. Thanks to Good Job Bees. Thanks to Hilco for creating these and bringing down these fine boxes and the frames. You'll get to see those. The next video we're going to get into these hives and show you what's going on. But you can see all these colonies right in here. You see a couple nukes that are on the top. There's just one or two that were just a little bit on the small side, still doing really good, and they'll be dropped down below. That's very normal, especially when you get 52 colonies. To expect 52 colonies that are all just champs, ready to plug out. That's really unrealistic, even for homemade bees. As you notice, that one back there had a double deep on it already. Some of these are already drawing out 4 or 5 combs, and they haven't been in here very long, and some of them are just finishing up, there's 3 of them, finishing up their, filling up their Jester nuke box. But that is part of beekeeping. We're going to show you more of those details. But yes, just to recap, we're hoping to learn more about our honeybees, hoping to learn more about Varroa and how to take them out. I've got some surprises, I think, coming for the next year if I can get some EPA approval. So look forward to that. And I think we will. And please, go to that poll below, leave your suggestions. And keep in mind that there's a lot of ways that you can donate to make this continue and all of that, because it took a lot of money just to get this started, and now the real work begins. Thanks again to all the people who donated to this and all the people who supported this. I know this first video might be a little bit boring to some, but there's a lot of people to thank, and I wish I could thank all of you, but I know I'd leave a couple people out and I'd feel really bad. And if I, you know who you are. Thank you all so much. We're going to put a lot of work into this, and we look forward to sharing those results with you soon. Stay tuned to the next video. It will be here soon. We'll see you soon.